Hi, my name is Whitney, and I'm with the League of Women Voters of North Dakota. And I am here to talk about how to submit public testimony. So I'll be talking about what it is, how you write it, and where to submit it on the state website. So let's get started. First up, what is public testimony? At the bottom, you'll see you can influence state law. So every other year in odd-numbered years is the legislative session, January to April, and we have state legislators there at the session, and they are creating and changing laws. So the public testimony time is your opportunity to be heard directly by the state legislators, and you can express your opinions to support or oppose a bill or suggest changes to a bill. And a bill is state law in the making. So you can influence state law, potential state laws, bills that are coming through the legislature. And legislators, they need your input. So you elect a state legislator, a couple of them, maybe even three, in fact, in the state legislature. And there are hundreds of bills, potential laws submitted each session, usually between 800 or 900 that are submitted. And so they count on constituents and businesses and organizations to inform them on the laws because there are just so many coming through. When is public testimony time? This is something you'll need to know so that you know when you can submit yours on a bill. So first, a bill is introduced into the legislature, into one of the chambers, the House or the Senate, and then it goes to a committee, and that committee schedules a hearing. So the committee has about 6 to 14 people usually on it from the legislature, and they are taking a dive into that bill to find out more. So they'll schedule a hearing because they need to hear why people would support or oppose the bill, and then give a recommendation to the whole chamber saying, we think this bill should pass, so giving it a do pass, or saying, this bill, no, don't pass. And they also might make some changes called amendments to that bill. So your time is at the committee during the public hearing time, where you can submit your testimony and be heard by the legislators. So how do you write a testimony? So I created a template for you to follow because it can be hard to know how to write public testimony if you have never done it before. So here's an example of how you can start it. You start committee chair and members of the committee. My name is Jane Doe, and I am here in support of House Bill 1001. I support this bill because, and then you tell your story or give your reasons or give the impacts on you or your family or your community on why you would support it. If you want to oppose a bill, say you're not in support of a bill coming through, a state law is coming through, a potential state law in the form of a bill, and you're like, nope, this bill wouldn't be great for me or my community, and here are the reasons. You change it to, I am here in opposition of House Bill 1001. I oppose this bill because, and your reasons. So here are some tips for when you're writing. Be brief and simple. They might have 20, 30, 40 testimonies, if it's a hot topic, even more, where people are submitting public testimony. And if you're writing like 3 or 4 pages, it's going to be hard for them to read all those testimonies. So try to be brief and simple. Be polite. They'll remember that. And share your personal story of yourself and your community. Stories are very impactful, so share it. And if you're not submitting it, they might not hear a story from people similar to you. So this is great that you want to learn how to submit testimony. If you have recommendations for this potential state law, put them in your testimony because they can make changes to that bill in the process. And lastly, I would say add a thank you at the end. Thank you for the opportunity to tell my story, because they'll remember the tone of your testimony. And so you are following a bill, you have written a testimony, like I just showed you a template on the last slide, and now you need to submit it. So you go on the state website, and I am going to show you exactly where you can submit your testimony, because this is a tricky one for some people to find. So bear with me while I screen share, switch my screens. All right. So I have another screen with the legislative branch's website. It is ndlegis.gov, and I will put that in the description below in the YouTube video. So here we have, I'm going to make my screen a little smaller because on mobile, usually there's these 3 dashes at the top that you will click first and then see all the tabs. So you're going to find session information over on the left and select that. If you want to see all the list of bills, it is bills and resolutions right here under bill information. If you want to search for a word in a bill and check it out. Another one I will highlight is this major topic index. They file them by topic. So if you have a topic you want to check out and see what bills are filed, this bill information is key. But you want to submit testimony to the committee so that they know your thoughts and you can tell your story. That is over here. So I'm going to say again, you click the 3 dashes, you go to session information and the standing committee hearings. The committee hearing list will come out every Thursday evening. So you can check on Thursday evening or Friday and see what bills are coming up and if yours is in that list. I'm going to click standing committee hearing. And it's going to load. So at the top, you can see the different types of committees. And below is the list of bills heading to committee, starting with the date and time. So you'll see starting with January 16th and the time it is. And if you scroll down, it will get later. Here's 9 a.m. and so on. So you can even search for your bill up here, the one you're looking for. We are going to just go to the first bill on the list. And so you can see the bill number, the date and time, which committee it's in. So you can even put this committee at the top of your testimony and write that name there. Let's see. And you can even go in person. If you're in Bismarck, here's the room it's in. Here's your submit testimony on the very right. So here's your deadline to submit by this date. I'm going to click submit testimony because this is where you want to go. Here is the deadline for you to submit your testimony, 7:30 a.m. And if you scroll down, this is all the information you need. So you do put your city and state in here. They especially consider people who live in this state. So you might have lobbyists from out of state, but they like to know where you're from. So your name, email address, phone number, and where you're located. And then these are the bills on the agenda. So it will bring up the one we selected right here. And you are going to click which type of testimony. Are you support of this bill, in opposition or neutral? For the type, you can just do written testimony and upload it right here. Or you can write it. They usually like a written testimony to refer back to. So you can write it and give it remotely from your computer or tablet or phone. Or you can go in person if you're in Bismarck and sign up right here. So you'll browse your files and then submit down here. And then your testimony is available for the legislators and it's going to be public. So just remember, you're writing something publicly. So this is where you go. I'm going to do a quick reminder. You click here to these 3, go to session information, and then go to the standing committee hearings. And it will think, and then they will come up. You can search for the bill by the bill number here, or you can scroll through and find the one you want. And then click submit testimony over here. And this is where you will find the place to submit that Word document file, your PDF. That's you'll create a Word document, type up your testimony, and then save it as a PDF to attach right here. And then hit submit. And you got that. You got it. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing on this screen and head back to my other screen. All right, so you know which bills or bill you want to follow, you support or oppose it, you write up your testimony, and then you submit it right where I showed you on ndlegis.gov. And then the legislators will hear from you, the ones in that committee. If you want to take further action on those bills, you can call or email your legislators on the issue and let them know what you think. It is impactful if you are from their district and you're emailing them to let them know, because if they don't hear from you, They just don't know what their constituents might think on that issue. You can ask your friends and neighbors to take action and also submit public testimony or email their legislators. You can write a letter to your local newspaper. It can be hard to track these 800 or 900 bills coming through the legislature through the session. So this will help let your community know what is happening and the issue you care about. Continue following the bill and sharing about it with friends and family and on your social media. That's another way to let people know. Lastly, the League of Women Voters of North Dakota is a nonpartisan political organization with a mission of empowering voters and defending democracy. If you want to follow along, like voting and election bills with us, you can follow our Facebook page. You'll see it right up on the screen, LWVND. You can check out our website. We have a legislative webpage that we keep updated, or you can join us on our outreach circle. There's the QR code or download the app, Outreach Circle. I hope you get involved, submit some public testimony, and I hope this was helpful for you. Have a great day.